everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Vulgar Display of Gaming. I'm Shane,
I'm Javi.
and we are going to go over some good topics this week, such as going to go over some news right now first, and then we're going to go into our main topic, which is gatekeeping. Let's
And
kick it off with some news right now.
oh yeah,
Let's this pulled up over here,
for sure.
and now we are going into something that's pretty crazy. Kick us off with this, Javi.
So finally, the iPhone, Apple's flagship phone, is ditching their Lightning port, and now literally everything is Type C, which is, I think, pretty important because your buddy, the one friend that you have that has an iPhone for some reason, they decide to like, hey, I need a cable to charge my phone, but you never have it. So the fact that now it's Type C, and like literally like PlayStation controllers, Xbox controllers, mice in order to charge your mice and stuff, everything is literally Type C now, which is like a godsend, honestly. The less cables you have to worry about in your day-to-day life, the better. So now we're finally seeing some uniformity going around.
But it seems like that's the only thing that's new with that
I mean,
iPhone.
yeah, iPhones in general, I don't personal note, none of us have iPhones here. But the fact that like finally, we only have to worry about having one cable around for bridging in, very sweet.
Yeah. So I mean, if that's the only thing they got going for themselves right now is just getting a new cable.
Yeah. Yeah, we're not gonna go into too much details with
you
that.
know. But let's see what else we got over here. We got some some news of the Magic the Gathering. 24 new Lord of the Rings cards. I'm a big Magic the Gathering player. Haven't you ever play?
I have played. I'm a huge sucker for the art, and I'm glad a lot of people are because like I think bands like Suffocation have like enlisted like Magic the Gathering artists their art for them for their album art, rich art as well. So and I'm a huge fan of Lord of the Rings, so this set sounds pretty cool to me.
Yeah, I just want to highlight this. So this is just they're doing their new how do you say special set with ridiculous prices for these bundles and everything. It's just I don't know how I feel about all these collector packs. Look, this collector booster box, $410 for 12 packs. To me, that's kind of ridiculous what they're going. I feel like Magic is pricing their own cards out. It doesn't make any sense. They're releasing all these special edition things, and then it's just they're oversaturating their own market. So we'll see
Yeah.
how that all goes. I still have yet to pick up anything that. Everything looks good. It's cool cards.
Yeah,
Not gonna
yeah.
say that.
Ours kicks ass as you.
I haven't dove deep in it enough to see if they're actually good cards or not. But what else we got here is I'm a huge tabletop fan, and there was this Sunday a big drop for Space Marine stuff. New Codex looks good. 10th edition, it's cool. I like 10th edition a lot, but it's strange that they're coming out with a new Codex already. They're redoing everything, but this is cool. Now you got a captain with a jump pack again. They used to call them Smash Captains. Wonder if you can get a hammer with them. We got Chaplain and Terminator armor.
Ooh,
They're gonna be
nice.
pretty good. New company heroes. Those are gonna be cool models. Terminator Squad. I wonder if these are more posable than the ones that were in the Leviathan box set. And then you have the new jump pack intercessors, which look phenomenal. I really like the new style for the jump pack with their little wing things up here. New Stern Guard, Veteran Squad, new Lieutenant. There's about a billion of them now. The new Dreadnought, the new Redemptor Dreadnought Brutalis looks really good. I wonder how these claws are going to be effective. I wonder when they release the stats. I haven't looked too deep into seeing if the stats are coming out. Just these new models are phenomenal. New combat patrol. But that's about it for Warhammer. What else we got coming up? Oh, the new Star Wars. Watched the trailer, didn't we, Javi?
Yeah, as well. Yep. It looks first time for me watching it. Looks real nice. I'm a huge Star Wars fan, especially like the video games as of late. They've been definitely doing much better these past few years. So it's always exciting when you like this, especially when it's gonna be like there's gonna be an open world RPG shake.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
I just wanted to hit on the fact that anybody could die in the game and the story keeps moving forward. So that's going to be fucking awesome. I really like that. What else we got here on Kotaku? Nothing really on that one. But yes, Payday 3, their launch was absolutely terrible. And They screwed up so bad with this. Just this early access and why everything has to be online now and you can't just do public friends invite or just match make forever. It's pretty irritating. I never played either of them, but Javi has.
Yeah, yeah. The first two were really fun, so it's a shame that this one released the way it did. Yeah, it kind of ties in back with our last episode where it's like nothing ever comes out, as a good product. We have to wait for like patches.
Exactly. Games coming out too. Real quick, we got a Nintendo Switch successor as a rumor. So we'll see how that comes out. Nintendo Switch Pro. I wonder how that's going to turn out.
It's got a lot of stiff competition now, thanks to like Steam Deck and the Asus mobile gaming thing too, right?
Yeah. And then just real quick, Mortal Kombat 1 on the Switch is absolutely terrible.
So recently, Nintendo they launched a launch trailer, but their launch trailer showed none of their version of it. It showed like their the Steam version, and yeah, it's the game itself looks really awful. So don't fall for that trailer.
This is pretty terrible. Xbox got some leaked news with a new gen Xbox coming in 2020.
Yeah, it's always a shame when things get leaked. And it feels like nothing's ever a surprise anymore. Just like they always have to announce stuff.
Yeah, yeah. 2028, they're gonna rumor for a new system, and then all these games aren't even coming out yet.
Yeah.
Scaling plan. But we'll see how that.
And it also looks like it's completely ditching the disc. They're not.
Yeah.
Physical. It's a shame, but they've been trying to do that stuff for up to them.
Oh, Invincible's really good.
Yes.
7-8C might be the entire comic.
So I've been wanting to read the entire comics for a while. So the fact that like 7-8 seasons and it looks like it's gonna be packed.
Yeah.
Of stuff.
I need to get back into it and read them. I've read some of them, but they're completely original episodes. Robert Kirkman did that with Walking Dead. He kind of went off. I love the comics. I did not. That's just me. But
I'm always a fan if like as long as they don't like derail themselves too much. I'm okay with like TV show only episodes or whatever. Nice to see.
And then this was pretty wonky. Jay McMahon, Die Hard Murder forced him to apologize. Issues statement. Actually told the band to fire me, and I don't want to apologize as I didn't do anything. Didn't have anything to apologize for. This is just weird. They delayed their album.
They delayed their album by a week. They said originally because of logistics, but like now we know for sure that it was because like apparently in that album, even though it kind of sounds like the original singer, apparently that's in like a brand new vocalist have on that album. So originally DJ was attacking the trans community, did some really bad stuff about it, and then the band had themselves the rest of the band had to apologize on his behalf. He didn't say anything until like a day later, and then like the band told him like, hey, like, well, obviously you need to apologize. But I guess now they finally decided like, hey, he's not gonna apologize at all, so let's get rid of him.
This
Yeah,
is the stuff he was saying is pretty wonky.
yeah. I'm always a fan of getting rid of toxicity.
So whatever.
Good riddance.
Yeah, weirdo. Every time I die, ex vocalist Buckley is gonna make some new music. That's gonna be great. I wish they didn't break up, and I never got to see them.
That's always.
So we'll see. Happens.
Yeah.
It's gonna be good. Mental health break, which is always neat.
Oh yeah. Always take care of your health.
And he got sober.
So Better Lovers is a band that's made of Every Time I Die members. Aside from their singer. And it's also really good. So I hope, even though like it sucks that Every Time I Die broke up, it'll be nice to see what pops out.
And well, this goes into what we're gonna talk about.
Right.
But we just want to go on for this. You don't have to dress metal to be a metalhead. Why is this even?
Yeah.
It says Two Mold's great, and they have some heavy stuff, but people are giving them crap for not dressing metal enough. Doesn't make any sense.
Absolutely doesn't make any sense. In fact, I think Gojira, like they hardly wear any like band merch either. But like everybody like favors them as like metalhead kings. But like
Yeah,
yeah, apparently like that Decibel like cover, they're like, yo, they're not wearing black t-shirts. They're wearing a Resident Evil shirt.
yeah.
Like it's not metal at all. It's just like hello. Like why does that matter?
Stupid stuff. Stupid stuff. Don't want to give it much attention to that. We will go on to we'll start some here. But now I want to get on to our main topic, which is gatekeeping and everything.
Yeah.
Gatekeeping in heavy metal, gatekeeping in video
Gaming.
games,
Yep.
keeping with movies, comics, TV shows, you name it. It's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah. As a guy who grew up liking anime, right? Most of my middle school, most of the middle school students that I were around with, when I would talk about like Dragon Ball Z, I would get like frowned upon it for, and all of a sudden now anime is like accepted as like the norm.
Super
Yeah, it's
mainstream
super
now.
mainstream now, which is cool. I'm not.
It's great. It's
It's great.
great.
It's
I'm
awesome.
not gonna. Yeah, we're not
Yeah,
gonna
we're not
knock
gonna knock it
people.
down. No.
You shouldn't be listening to this or watching this because I was the first person to do it.
Yeah, yeah.
You
Like
know,
I'm glad people are getting into like Dragon Ball Z and like other anime like possible. I will never say like you guys made fun of me for it like years ago. All of a sudden it's like the more people that like things, the better. I'm not gonna frown upon anybody just because they weren't there from the start.
and especially with heavy metal in general, nobody knows there's a billion subgenres of heavy metal.
Oh man, I feel like there's a new one coming out every week.
Exactly. You have black and thrash metal, it's derivative, black metal and thrash metal combined, and then you have
Technical
prog.
black and thrash metal.
Yes, yes. It
It's
goes
ridiculous.
it goes subgenre to subgenre to subgenre, and there's people that gatekeep. Like, oh, you shouldn't be listening. Not cool enough to listen to Dream Theater. Oh, you're only listening to that and blah blah blah.
Oh, and of course, the classic. Oh, you're wearing an atheist shirt? Like
Yes, yes,
name five songs.
exactly.
It's so dumb.
Anybody could be a fan of anything.
You don't have to wear band shirts. You don't have to have long hair. You don't have to have piercing, tattoos. It literally doesn't.
No, no. And that's what going back to Tomb Mold, how they were saying with their new Decibel cover, you guys are just wearing regular t-shirts. How are you? Ah,
And they are simply being true to themselves. And there's
absolutely nothing wrong. And I just hope that people realize there is so much media out there to consume, and we want our genre to grow. We want heavy metal to be prosperous. We want to bring. Don't want to let any. And
absolutely.
especially with state. You were just telling me earlier today about fighting games. That's a big gatekeep thing, and they don't consider what.
Yeah, yeah. So like, some people don't consider Smash a fighting game at all, and obviously, there's also some Street Fighter players that don't think Mortal Kombat players are as good as them. It just creates like a rift that doesn't need. We're all here just to have fun.
Isn't there a big riff? Oh, what's the best version of Marvel vs. Capcom 2? Oh, it's the PlayStation 2 version. No, it's the Dreamcast version. No, it's the arcade version.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. There's even like fights among like controller users. Like,
yes.
you're using a standard like PlayStation controller. Like, like you're not gonna get far with that when it's all just preference. There's so much ways to gatekeep. Ridiculous, and it really doesn't has no place in any.
Oh, it's detrimental to just rude. Like we should be able to share everything with everybody. Genres open, these games are open. Read what you listen to, what do you want to watch, That, I will say a big thing is too with gatekeeping is Star Wars.
Oh,
That's pretty
absolutely.
big.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of what Disney's been doing lately, but I'm not gonna like sit out there with a picket sign like that. I'm not gonna yuck anybody's yum. If somebody likes the new trilogy, that's great. But I'm not gonna sit there and tell them like Star Wars, that's trash. I don't understand why people deem it necessary to gate because they just want to guard something. Right? This is mine. Oh, there's too many people. Not special anymore. I was the first person to listen to. I was. This is pure. This is just a weird mentality to go about when it comes to these kind of things.
Also, the whole casual versus hardcore gamer. Like when somebody like tries to mention the game, they were like, oh, they mentioned like, oh, they only really play for the story. They don't like up the difficulty. Game is like that's not how you're supposed to play the game. You're
That,
supposed to play the game in the hardest difficulty.
that is
Like,
definitely a big thing too.
yeah,
It's like I'm a story player. You like playing games
oh
on
yeah.
hard difficulties.
I love a challenge, but that doesn't that's gonna stop me when somebody's like, "Wow, so you beat the game, but you beat it on easy? Like you're an ass." No,
Exactly. Exactly. I want to enjoy something how I want to. And that's exactly a form of gatekeeping when you tell people that's too easy. Or like, again, behind us, Street Fighter's going on ads, dicks for now leverless. So like people were like, oh, why are you doing it with this? Why are you playing with that control? Oh, you're not a real player. This. I mean, it's getting kind of out of hand. But if it all depends who you hang out with. I mean, obviously stay off the internet.
yeah,
When it
it's
comes to
obviously
this stuff,
you saw the Tomb the article.
mhm.
Straight up, the internet is not the place to
And
the
granted,
place to
why
talk
is
about.
that even a article in the first place? Is kind of nonsense.
Yeah, I mean, it got traction, so unfortunately, stuff like that needs to get pointed out because at the end of the day, it's like, well, what's stopping people from playing? Not everybody has to dress up like Behemoth. Not everybody has to dress up like Ghost. But it's like put on a good show. It's all like what that person or band's preference, and we should all accept.
Exactly. Enjoy something how you want to enjoy. And listen, masses, us, enjoy what you
Yeah,
how you
be
want to
comfortable
enjoy.
in your own skin, your own ideals. There's nothing wrong
Go
with anything.
exactly. Go down to you, full, find new. Um, more than welcome to support all these great bands that are coming out. Not gonna,
Oh yeah, absolutely.
you know, and especially with just games in general. Play games how you want to play them. With whatever controller you want to play with. You know, it's just kind of ridiculous what's going on.
Yeah. Also, play whatever console you want. It's okay if you're not part of the portfolio.
And again, that's another thing we didn't touch on either. It's just consoles, PlayStation versus Xbox versus
Yeah,
Nintendo versus PC. Just because you're play on PC doesn't mean you have the best experience.
yeah.
Some people can only play on console just because they're locked in at 30 FPS and wow, you're playing at 4K FPS. It doesn't matter. Enjoy games on what you know.
Yeah, but
Except for
it's all for the sake of entertainment.
except for Mortal Kombat 1 on the Switch.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
pretty terrible.
yeah. That was
But that
pretty bad.
doesn't get. I mean, it just doesn't really go. It's just more or less like just play games how you want, play them on whatever you want. You know,
And going back to the whole like comic book, first, I remember when the Marvel finally getting traction. Like, oh, finally we get some good comic book. I was really happy. Person wasn't comic book, definitely watched a lot of like cartoons. Uh, but when I was like finally have all these on the side saying, oh, we read these comics and they're nothing like the comics. Only just read the comics. There's there's obviously much more different ways, whether it's like TV shows, video games, and movies. Like if they're good, they're good. It's not gonna stop.
this is a big thing too with that community specifically. I'll tune it back to Star Wars. It's just it doesn't matter who plays what character is kind of ridiculous, especially in I'd say Marvel movies, especially there's so many multiverses, all of this, and the movies are separate from the comic. They pull source material from it, but at the same time, it's a whole different universe in its own sense.
Yeah, and I understand depending on person to person. Some people want a one-to-one adaptation. Other people are okay with it being like away from the. I'm a fan of both. You know? If they're done well, then I'm all for it every time.
Oh, definitely, definitely. But then again, it's just who cares?
Yeah, yeah.
Watch what you want, play what you want. Listen to what you want to listen to.
Gatekeeping is always going to be walking backwards. Always want to move.
Exactly.
That's the general gist of
It does nothing to progress uh fandom, nothing to genre of music. Just because there's 10 people listening to this one thing and there's none of you can listen to this. That just stalls that progression of that band of genre, and it just stays right there. It's like, no, 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 keep going. We want as many people to enjoy this as possible.
as many different backgrounds, as there are on this earth. So many different people. People need long hair. Like I said, you don't need long hair. You could be a short hair and still headbang. We're all for it.
Yeah, exactly. We've been kind of all over the place with this. We're still figuring all this out, but I think we're about getting ready to go into more music updates of what we've been listening to, what we've been watching, reading, and playing.
Yeah.
Let's go into kicking off with some new albums real quick.
Yeah.
I
So
came up this
ones that are out this Friday, ones that we think you guys. Right off the bat, we have the new Code Orange album Above. So this is actually their first album. They're no longer on Roadrunner. Thank God. Roadrunner is fine. But that's for another story. They're doing this, entirely self-produced, self-released. So good shit for them. I'm always a huge
coming out
fan of that.
September 29th.
Yes.
Then you have KK's Priest coming out with. Don't know who KK running. He was the one of the original guitarists.
And I have not listened to the first album, but I've heard good things about it. So we definitely like to mention Vervosa.
Coming out
Uh,
September 29th.
I believe it's the guitar player's name is Pika, I think. Uh, he's like the only original member now, but now she is taking over on vocals, and she sounds real sick. And we even got a nice Harry Holt solo, and
Really?
I'm really excited about it. Yeah.
And what else got coming out?
Too many.
There's too many albums. F fucker. That sounds kind
Dead
of cool.
fucker.
There is so many albums coming out. Another great website is Mental Archives. Go check them out for sure. If you want any updates on what's coming out, it's all right.
It's real neat. They separate a lot of things, genres, and just they also post release dates, which is very handy. As you mentioned before, media overload is real. So let's try to keep up with all forms of media in any way we can. One of those resources.
Javi, what have you been doing this past
So recently, I got into called the I don't remember. I'm not the leftovers. There you go. Sorry,
Okay,
sorry,
got
the
it,
leftovers. So it's super interesting. It's about like, they had. What,
You almost got it. Leftovers. What's it about? Is that British?
no, it's American TV. No, that religion. All of a sudden,
Oh, the Rapture.
yes, the rapture. The rapture happened on the planet, but not everybody got taken to heaven. So you get to see like all these different like doing with that. Like why were we left behind? Why was this taken? Even though he asked why. So getting to see how society adapts to that specific scenario. It's pretty screwed up, but also very interesting. I've been watching that. That one came out a couple of years back. I've been meaning to watch it for a while now, so I'm glad I finally got around.
Nice, nice.
How about you?
What I've been watching this week, I've just been getting into some anime. I've been watching Slow, which is a great show. If you haven't watched it, check out Sam. It's only one season, 24 episodes. I was also checking out some Soul Eater this week, some older anime I've been watching.
Okay, nice. It's
Uh,
always nice to read things.
exactly. What have you been playing mostly, Javi?
When I've been
Kombat?
Yeah, Mortal Kombat. Still trying to figure out my character. I think I'm sticking with Smoke for now. Definitely the most fun that I've had playing that character. In the recent years, so pretty stoked on that. And then some more Street Fighter. They introduced earlier this week they on November 1st, I think they're gonna release ranking called Legend. So the Legend status only goes to the top 500 players. So I'm gonna have to start grinding a lot more. Very very painful.
Nice, nice. As for myself, I haven't really been able to. We're still just on Armored Core 6. Great game, but just been right. What about what have you been listening to this week? Show us some stuff you got.
So I finally got this on hand, the new Temple of Void and Solothus single. So two
Ooh,
of the, in my opinion, two of the best Death Doom, modern Death Doom bands right now. Unfortunately, Solothus broke up right after this. They didn't mention why. It's a real shame. Like their releases have all been real killer, and they actually were on tour with Temple of Void earlier last year.
Temple of Void is
When
great.
I yeah, so when I heard after like this came out, I was like, oh, maybe we're gonna get an English iteration or like a States iteration of that tour. But unfortunately, that's not happening now. But definitely something you should check out and check out Slotus in general. Of course. And then this one came out a couple months ago. New Tsunami.
Ooh.
Uh, straight up from the also from California. Uh, real sick band. They're incredible live. This is their first album. They released a couple that were real great live, and this album really reflects that. I think
Ooh, what color is the vinyl?
that I think is just
Oh, it's green.
okay,
Ooh,
that's a
it's
nice
a green
surprise.
splatter. Look at that. It's beautiful. That is a beautiful.
I guess we'll show off.
Yeah, what does Temple of Void look
Oh, it's a clear.
like? Ooh, that's. Anyway, I'm not going to screw with this.
Yeah.
And
And
then,
new Camel Corpse.
yes, Chaos Horrific. A great album. They were playing on Metal or on Liquid Metal the other day, and I listened to most of it. Uh, great.
Always ever consistent. Always ever consistent. They are literally the ultimate death metal band. If you don't like death metal, or if you're a fan of death metal and you don't like Cannibal Corpse, there's probably something wrong with you.
Artwork is phenomenal.
Yeah. Eric Ruden's second album, and his songs that he wrote sound just like Cannibal Corpse. So happy about
Artwork. Wonder what color.
I think it's orange.
Ooh, it's a cream color.
Oh, orange.
Pretty cool. Ooh, even the insert has art on.
Yeah. Vince Locke, one of the greatest like death metal artists ever.
This is pretty interesting stuff in there. I like the girl with her intestines on the plate. There's cool stuff on this. Definitely worth checking out. That's a great
What you?
um uh, stuff.
Nice.
I've been listening to the new Cannibal Corpse album. I just shout out some classics. Like Sacred Reich, Surf Nicaragua. That's my signed copy, by the way.
Look at you.
I am very fancy. Signed copy. Great album, great classic album. Even has their cover of War Pigs on there.
Very nice.
They've just been recently active in the past few years, and after long hiatus.
Have we seen them 3 times since they got back together?
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah,
It's
no.
great.
Also, I'm Nicaraguan too.
Exactly.
My family really likes that album for that reason.
You like old school thrash metal? Check out Sacred Reich. I want to shout out with my Nails picture disc, 7-inch,
Hey,
pretty good one. What was this?
I was released in what 2019, I think.
2019. We picked that up. On this.
It's Endless Resistance. It has Max Cavalera on it.
Oh, that's right.
And I don't want to know you. Very short songs, of course, in Nails fashion, but real sick. This is actually the last album they recorded before it just became just I think what is it?
Just the
just the only singer, the singer and the guitar player, the only like original members now. So they've been delaying the new album for a while, but they said they're working on another one. So hopefully he finds some new bandmates, and hopefully the next one kicks ass.
This is one of my favorites. I used to listen to this all the time. I absolutely love Cool.
Ooh,
Check them out. They're in the same fashion as
Bar?
Quar, almost to the
Yeah.
sense of their style of playing with live show. They squirt
Yeah,
the
like
blood and
chops
everything.
stuff. It's a lot of
Splatter
fun.
Thrash is a great album.
Actually, I think this is my favorite. Cool.
This is a great cool album. They all dress up with potato sacks on their head and have blood coming out of them. They have real comic booky art. They have some comics out which are great. This album's just it's such a good album. You have Into the Catacombs as your casket closes. It's all just horror, like
Or Death
horror,
Thrash.
death threat.
Yeah, it's real fun.
Exactly, and it's great. As well as they all hail from Freak Sylvania, so it's pretty cool. And the album is pretty cool. The green colored album as well. Oh, it's a splatter orange one.
Splatter
That's
orange.
pretty cool.
I love Splatter Orange. But
Yeah,
pops up real nice.
exactly. Then last but not least, last night I had the opportunity to see Danzig, Behemoth, Midnight, Twin Temple, and Suicidal Tendency.
I was recovering from a cold, so I missed it, unfortunately. That sounds like a killer ass lineup.
Amazing show, and I was able to I picked up a lot of merch, some shirts and everything. But Twin Temple, if you've never heard of Twin Temple, it's exactly what it says on this right there. Satanic doo-wop. They nothing but like like 1950s kind of stuff, but just talking about Satan.
Yeah.
And
listen
it's
to Satan.
great. It fit right into the bill. It's heavy metal, satanic doo-wop. I know. They have some heavy riffs. Hammond got a saxophone, keyboardist, and everything.
Real fun. So if you're even remotely a fan of metal, or not a fan of metal, actually, you'll probably dig it.
Exactly.
But, as long as you're not okay with Satan or whatever.
Yeah, it was a great album.
Yeah.
So it was a good time last night. Great show. There's a bunch of shows coming up. So, I mean, that about wraps it up for this episode, I think.
Actually, have you been reading anything?
Oh, no. I didn't even pick up my pull for comics.
Oh, okay.
So maybe I'll upload a separate video on that when I get those, But thanks for joining us. I know it was a bit slow at some parts. We're still getting this all down. If you want to comment, comment and let us know what you want us to talk about. Shout anything out. Let us know.
Sure.
But,
Take care, guys.
hey, take care.